amazing to see you guys. Okay, so let's start. Hello everyone, and a warm welcome from our side. It's amazing to see this event here take place. It's just incredible, the people, the startups, the companies, the projects. It's unique, something very special. And we are honored to be your moderators for today. If I say we, myself, Johannes, and my dear colleague.
I'm Roberto. Me and Johannes, we are part of the Ventures team at STARTUP AUTOBAHN and Plug and Play Tech Center. The Ventures team is responsible for delivering the service to our corporate partner, as well as taking care of the startup on the technology side. So how is the event so far? Are you liking? Are you enjoying? Yeah, a little bit enthusiasm here. Okay, but raise your hand. For how many of you this is the first expo ever? Okay, quite a lot of people, so maybe it will be worth for the later in this introduction of the outdoor stage to go through what the expo about and also what is Startup Autobahn. But maybe a sneak preview about what's going to happen here, and then we can jump on that.
So, what are you gonna see today here on this stage? It will be pilot projects. What are pilot projects? It's a short-term collaboration between startups and corporate partners over the course of a few months. It's basically, they define a problem, work on a solution, and this all is the guiding into a hopefully long-term commercial implementation. And we're here and they're gonna tell you about how their project went.
But first, who we are and where do we come from? We are coming from Startup Autobahn. Startup Autobahn, we try to explaining and summarizing what it actually is in this slide. Startup Autobahn is plug and play open innovation platform based here in Stuttgart and focused on mobility and automotive topics. We have been founded in 2016 by Plug and Play, Mercedes-Benz, and a couple of more partners, with the goal of establishing the biggest open innovation platform for automotive in the world. Right now, we count over 31 corporate partners that we support in the day-by-day by making introduction with super innovative startups and companies with the goal, as my colleague Johannes was saying, to having amazing POC and pilots projects. From 2016, so within 8 years, 7-8 years, we facilitated more than 465 POCs. That is a pretty big number. With one implementation rate that is one of the highest on the open innovation business, so it's between 25 to 30%. And that is something we are super proud of. So this is Startup Autobahn, the platform behind this amazing event here, and we are really welcoming you all to this Expo 2023.
Next slide, please. So we talked about the pilot project. Here you do see them mapped. In fact, you see the logos of the startups that you've been participating in those projects. That's basically, we have 4 verticals. We cluster them in those verticals. That's sustainability, mobility, enterprise, and production. However, we do have 6 clusters for you. Roberto and myself are going to introduce them to you within a couple minutes and tell you a little bit more about them. But 24 out of those beautiful mapped startups here will be presenting here, 5 minutes each. When I say 5 minutes, I want to highlight this because it's very short. It's supposed to be a sneak peek here, and it's supposed to get you engaged with them at their booth, because each of them has a booth on their event location, and then you can talk about all the details of their projects.
I really wanted to enforce that, take the time to meeting the founders directly at the booth. It's really worth to making great connections. So let's start.
Great. So, as mentioned, the first cluster, it's EV transition and sustainability. We're not going to tell you that sustainability is important and climate change is happening, because, well, goddamn, it's hot today. You can tell. But we want to show you real case solutions. We want to tell you about projects that have been tested out in the market in a commercial environment. And in that sense, we have today for solutions for charging, fleet electrification, energy management and sustainability.
Sounds great. Then we have one of the topics I like the most when it comes to the futures of mobility, that is software-defined vehicle. That means having like software powering most of the control, operation and functionality within the vehicle with technologies such as sensors, AI, cloud computing and connectivity. So we will be meeting with a lot of startups and also corporate partners that are proposing like project and POC in this kind of cluster, and also we listen directly to them what they are working on.
Great. Production, AI and automation. So where does it start, where does it stop? It's literally the entire process of manufacturing that's involved here. We talk about the software-driven machines on a shop floor, but also the people working on the shop floor. How do you make the process more efficient? How do you adapt to short-term changes and more? However, the global supply chain is involved here as well, since we do have to get the pieces actually within the manufacturing phase. And yeah, we're very excited.
Next topic, cabin of the future. This is a topic that I had a chance to cover like a lot personally in my path in STARTUP AUTOBAHN with our amazing corporate partners we have. It refers basically to the fact that vehicles are becoming always more and more autonomous, interconnected. And that means that also the cabin, the interiors are transforming into like mobile living rooms. We take all technologies such as like smart surfaces, advanced HMI, and also sensitive surfaces, new sensitive technology. This is a cluster that is super interesting for what is the future of mobility. So really looking forward to that one.
As for enterprise, we do have 4 projects here today with us. The first is initiated with Bosch and Synthesia. The second one is Porsche and Circuit Booking. Third one is Schaeffler and Deskbird. And last but not least, DXC initiated a project with Britlit. So the entire case about enterprise is literally what gets the machine fueled in terms of sustainability, what's the e-fuel that gets the business machine running, and we'll be covering very interesting projects from different phases and different angles.
And last cluster, road safety, something we all care about because directly concerning our own safety. We refer like to technologies that are able to sense the driver, sense how the driver is feeling, how the driver is behaving, but also what is happening around us while we drive. So in order to guarantee the maximum safety for the driver and the occupants, but also for the other user of the street, let's say that we need a new set of technology, new kind of cluster of startups that are proposing some new innovation and technology in this field. So we will have the chance to learn also about this topic and all that will happen here on the access stage.
So, thank you very much. We want to highlight that we mentioned the clusters to you briefly to get your attention. However, if you turn around your badge and scan the QR code, you do see the agenda, and then in case you go inside, check out the main stage or grab something to eat, you can check the agenda and be here on time.
Yeah, pretty packed agenda. And I will leave you to the moderation of my colleague Johannes, and I'll see you later, guys. Really amazing to presenting and moderate the stage for you.
So now, as for the first project, we do have a collaboration between BEA, the startup, and BMS, which is in the case of optimizing fleet charging management systems. In fact, they managed to, well, there they are. Just a brief teaser. They managed to increase the productivity of fleet charging within around a ballpark of 30 to 35%, which is astonishing. Now, Stacey.
Hello, everybody. This feels good. It's the first time that I get to do a presentation outside. So my name is Robbie. I'm part of the founding team at VIA and also head of product. And we are developing and commercializing a platform to orchestrate charging efficiently for fleets. We're a B2B startup that focuses a lot on fleets, hence our collaboration with Bridgestone Mobility Solutions.
I'm Taco Olthoff, the EV Program Director for Bridgestone Mobility Solutions. Very happy to present here today with one of the great startups that we have a commercial agreement with.
Thank you, Taco. I'll just describe briefly the problem that we're addressing, which is what we call unmanaged charging. It's basically what happens when you connect a vehicle into a charger. It will start consuming energy right away, and that's not ideal. It's not ideal because it's typically when electricity is more expensive, the carbon footprint from the grid is also high, it generates peak loads, and it can even accelerate the degradation of the battery of the vehicle. So it's really not ideal. And the more interesting part is that there is flexibility in charging to better orchestrate this process. And this is how we have come up with a solution. It's a cloud platform that will connect not only with the charging infrastructure to monitor and control it, but also with the other critical systems that are very important to fleet customers. So first of all, we will integrate with fleet scheduling system, like the WebFleet product from Bridgestone Mobility Solution, but also with facility management systems, depot management systems, and their ERP systems. With all of that, we have all the information to basically orchestrate when it's most optimal to charge the vehicles and make sure that fleet uptime is at the highest, at the cheapest cost, and lower carbon footprint. And these are some of the smart charging impacts that we have achieved. We can reduce peak loads by up to 80%, reduce costs by up to 50%, and carbon emissions by up to 70%, and even have a positive impact in battery degradation up to 40% less. Just to finish, I'll give you this example. It's one of the largest smart charging projects that we're working on in Europe. We're currently at 400 chargers, and this is the smart charging results that we have obtained with 50 chargers. So the results are really promising. What we're doing basically is delivering the same amount of energy to all the buses. This is with the public transport operator of Madrid. We're delivering the same amount of energy, but by making sure that we are not consuming a lot of power in the red area, which is the most expensive area of the day, and cutting also the peak load, basically the amount of power that gets overlapped at 3 megawatts. This results not only in very important savings for the customer, but also in what we're always saying, fleet uptime. This customer can ensure that the vehicles will be fully charged when they are needed.
Thanks, Robbie. Yeah, so these guys are bringing a great service to fleets. They're saving them a lot of money, actually allowing them to have more buses, for instance, in their fleets. We from Bridgestone Mobility Solutions have been in the telematics game for a long time. But electrification is a big industry transformation. And it means that our fleets were connected with telematics and they were maybe connected with planning. Now all of a sudden there's a lot more services that they need to connect to. Think about something like this, like smart charging. Think about advanced battery analytics, or think about energy services like V2G or V1G. And those are all these new startups, and there's also millions of new companies that are coming here, and we're seeing a lot of them today, which is great. So what we as a corporate want to do here is make sure that there is a platform in place that allows all of these actors to share the data in such a way that they can exchange the value. We don't want to bother a company like VIA to have to integrate with each and every fleet's planning service in order to be able to share their value. And that is why we want to bring the integrated EV management platform, which will make sure that these services can provide high quality and high reliability to the fleets. Secondly, that it's efficient and flexible. So every fleet in different regions might have different suppliers. Let's just make sure that they can have those suppliers with our platform. And it also means that the fleet stays in full control and they're not buying into a certain vendor lock-in. And that is why we're very happy to be here today with BIA. You'll hear a lot of them. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, so we do have a tight schedule today, so we already have in the queue the next solution, Chargilize. So we do have Florian today here on the stage from Chargilize and Frank from BMS telling us more about their project. Thanks.
Good afternoon. So, basically, I'm Frank Levesque from Bristol Mobility Solution, and what we are going to talk about right now is how to help fleet to make the right decisions to go towards zero-emission vehicles. Bristol Mobility Solution was talked about earlier. We are the solution business of the tire manufacturer that you know, but we focus on fleets, and we help fleets to optimize their activities at various levels. And electrification, sustainability has become a critical topic for most fleet managers, for most organizations, for obvious reason, and regulations have been the driving force for that, of course. But electrification of a fleet is actually a lot more than basically moving from ICE to electric vehicles. It is about understanding the technology that is in the vehicle, new technologies, new suppliers, new ecosystem, new operating models of the business that needs to take into consideration the limitations or the new dynamics of electric vehicles, meaning new decision making, meaning new decision criteria for acquiring these vehicles and the ecosystem that comes with it. What does it mean? It means that we need to help them to simplify the complex, to help them to actually support the fleet with the vehicle data-driven solution. And that's at the heart of our business. And this is basically what we wanted to do with Chargilize to help the fleets to the next level of their decision making. And this is what Florian is going to explain now on how we work together to help the fleets.
Yeah, thank you. So there's no question anymore about if we need to electrify fleets. I think that's already the future, it's given. But the more interesting question is, how do we master this transition? And at Chargilize, we've developed a software as a service solution to simulate the electrification of fleets. And our vision is to be very transparent and honest about the expected changes for the fleet managers and the drivers. So to evaluate which electric vehicle should you place on an existing combustion engine vehicle, it's not enough to only look at the average distance of a vehicle, which takes it per day. You need to look at the interrelation of three different factors. You need to look at the driving profile of the existing vehicle and at the parameters of the electric vehicle and the charging infrastructure, so at work, home, and public. And this is what we do at Chargilize. Let's have a look at our solution in detail. We calculate a very important KPI for us, which is the electrification factor. The electrification factor is 100% if you can cover 100% of the driving profile with that electric vehicle. And we take into account the given charging infrastructure, and we also use realistic range values for that. And you can even apply different temperature scenarios in that simulation. So this helps you to identify those vehicles in a fleet which can be electrified very easily. To select the right vehicle, so the vehicle which fits to your preferences and to your purpose, you should use our solution and sort the results by the electrification factor. But it's not the only relevant factor. There are also other factors like of course, the price or load volume or whatever, which you need to consider. After you've selected your electric vehicles, you can predict cost and CO2 effects of your planned electrification. And furthermore, you get valuable insights to plan and scale your charging infrastructure at your workplace locations. Our solution is made for passenger cars and light commercial vehicles, and our market focus is Europe, with 2 language versions available in German and English. And together with Bridgestone Mobility Solutions and their sub-company Webfleet, we defined a target of 25% of the telematics customers to use Charge.Alize in 2025. So thank you for having me, and if you want to have details and a product demo, please visit us at booth 31. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frank and Florian. So, in case you want to find out more about fleet electrification, make sure you meet them at their booth. It's number 31. As for the next solution, we do have a product related to the energy management, but Khaled and Loak will tell you a lot more about it. Thank you.
So, thank you very much for your attention. My name is Khaled Bokal. I'm from the DXC Technology, and we're building platforms around energy management, water, gas, and with a goal to make more out of the data from the energy consumption. The goal is to support the sustainability goals of the companies with making more out of the data. We do it with a company called Opinum, and Opinum is the expert in the sector, and I would like to hand over to Lloyd to explain more what Opinum is.
Yeah, thank you, Khaled. Hello, everyone. So, like Khaled explained, we are the technological provider of what we call the EMS, Energy Management Platform. And what we do typically is making sure that you can manage energy, but also gas, heat, water, and take data-driven decision. So last year we saw a big peak in terms of energy prices. Water is also becoming a scarce resource. So we have built a platform to gather all this information and making sure that you can take like educated decision when it comes to how you use or how need to optimize your energy consumption or water consumption. Typically the way it works, we gather the information from all different assets that you might manage, or different plants, buildings, shop, whatever type of infrastructure that you manage. We collect all this information in our platform, and we work with partners like DXC to make sure that this information can be enriched with analytics and provide you insightful insights from this data. So to optimize or to take faster decision in terms of cost reduction, for example, on the energy and water sector. It has multiple applications. We're working like worldwide. We have implementation in the US, in Europe, but also in Asia. And you can have like here the list of every type of business that can use this kind of technology to optimize and work on the energy data and water data. So it can come from like factories, but also shops, and we work a lot with energy and utilities business, so they can optimize their energy and water usage. Maybe a final word from Khaled.
Yeah, thank you very much. So therefore, our solution with Opinum is called EMOS. EMOS stands for Energy Management and Optimization. Bringing the energy consumption on a dashboard, it's easy. But to have the technology to optimize it on a continuous basis from a cultural, organizational, and from a technology point of view, that's the challenge that we are able to solve together with Opinum. So if you're interested, join us at the booth number 34. That's at the end of the bar, and we are happy to give you more insights. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, now, again, you see the agenda for the outside stage. So we've seen now first 3 solutions for our first batch. That was Bea, Charge Lies, and Opinum. And now, last but not least, we'll have on stage a well-known guest on our platform, RubyQ Materials, alongside the project with Maxion, and we'll have on stage Sophie and Chan. Thank you.
Hello, hi, my name is Sophie Tubiao. I'm Vice President of Business Development and Sales at UBQ Materials. This is my 3rd expo and I'm very excited to be here again. Just to tell you a bit about UBQ and what we have done in this project with Maxion. So UBQ is a company, a startup. I think we are graduating from the startup stage. And we have developed a technology that converts conventional waste, garbage, into a new composite material that can replace polymers in the manufacture of plastic parts. The idea is really to move away from the linear way in which we consume anything and to promote a more circular economy in which waste is not wasted but turned into a new resource. From garbage to a new material that can be used as raw material in many plastic products. But the most amazing feature of our material is the fact that it is carbon negative. It really has a very, very good impact in terms of carbon emissions. If you look at this scale, you will see in the orange side the representation of conventional polymers. They all emit CO2 in their production, while UBQ is in the very blue side, so we are a good polymer basically. Although we are not a polymer, we are a composite material. That is why we got a lot of prizes and recognitions. It's nice to be in that position. And we also got a sustainability award in automotive for our first project with Mercedes that was launched in this stage as well. So, of course, outside the automotive, we are doing a lot of different things. It's almost easier to go to other things that don't have that type of requirement, but automotive has a special place in our hearts. And this is why we are trying really to work with all the automotive partners, starting with Mercedes, but through the tiers and other OEMs, to develop more sustainable parts using UBQ inside. Of course, we do other parts as well, as I mentioned, and we do have a very strong partner with very leading brands outside the automotive space.
Yeah, let me continue from here. I'm Janusz Kun, working for Maxion as an innovation engineer. I would like to mention a little bit about Maxion. So we are producing wheels for more than 100 years, even started with Ford Model T. In our 23 plants, we are producing not only wood and like that, but also aluminum and steel wheels. We are the largest global wheel manufacturer, and I am representative of Maxion Advanced Technologies, which is our innovation hub, located in Berlin and Shanghai. And we have a great team out of 5 people coming from 5 different countries, and we are looking for adjacent, disruptive, mobility-related business opportunities, which is related to process, digitalization, and also materials, where the packaging is also an important part of it. And this is our 3rd year with Startup Autobahn. I would like to thank you for all the team that always they are bringing us great startups to work with, and with UBQ, we also achieved a successful POC. And we can go to the next slide. And here is our roadmap zero target. It is not only for the raw material of the wheel, as you saw, but it is also related to processes, even with the packaging materials and everything. And UBQ provided us a game changer solution to revolutionize our packaging materials and go to reach our targets to be carbon net zero. And here I would like to mention about, so wheel, besides to be a safety component, it's a big part of the visual of the car. So we have to protect them very well while supplying to the OEMs, and these are the packaging materials that we are using. Sometimes it is wooden, but generally plastic pellets, and with plastic separates and all petroleum based. So the starting point of the project was to change this petroleum based materials at least to be carbon net zero or even below it. So Sophie will continue from that.
So basically what we did was implement UBQ, replacing recycled HDPE that is already in very wide use by Maxion in all these logistic elements. The added value of the UBQ is of course in the reduction of the carbon footprint. We succeeded in implementing a very small amount of UBQ, only 5%, but it really generated a very big impact. On the other side, it also allows Maxion to prepare better for the upcoming legislation talking about recycled content inside of packaging materials, and these elements are defined within packaging. So if we look at exactly at the numbers, then we are looking at a plastic pallet that is widely used by Maxion in their operation. We replaced here 5% of the recycled HDPE that was commonly in use. And we generated a decrease in carbon footprint of almost 4.5 tons of CO2 per 1,000 pallets, which is a very interesting number if you want to talk about decarbonization. On the other side, on the separator that was already 100% recycled content, replacing 5% of the recycled content with UBQ generated the first carbon, I don't want to say it, but it's a fact. It's the first carbon positive separator ever done in the world. So good to us. As of UBQ, as I told you, we are graduating this stage in our lives. We are not going to be a startup any longer. In October, we are opening our first facility in Europe, in Bergen op Zoom in the Netherlands. We will have a capacity of 80,000 tons. So if you're in the market for sustainable materials, come see me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was amazing. So we do have a little bonus. It's not on the agenda. However, each year for our entire program, which is has been running for the past 12 months, it's been running pilots, completed pilots, and all in all, just super interesting projects. We do select certain companies and we give them an award. Today, here we have a sustainability award we have to announce. And with that regard, I'm asking Hannah on the stage.
Thank you, Johannes. Well, really big congratulations. It's so amazing how many people are interested in the corporate startup collaboration projects and like really checking out the startups, seeing what can we do. So thank you so much all for the interest. I'm Hannah, as well from the Plug and Play team, and maybe some of you know we usually give our Global Innovation Award to outstanding projects. Projects who have a cross-collaboration, really quick impact, implementation, and. And just last year, we actually started a new award, the Sustainability Award. Why? So open innovation is for that to overcome challenges. Maybe you're too slow, or you cannot do it by yourself, so you team up. And one of the biggest challenges we right now have is like the warming of our planet. And for this reason, we all have to reduce our global footprint, and we actually have one team here, and surprise, you're here the last 5 minutes, UBQ and Maxion, who actually are getting the Sustainability Award for 2023 from Expo. Please come on stage, and big applause from all of you. And we are highly impressed how actually you can go in different ways in the supply chain to reduce and actually to get a minus carbon footprint. And I think it's a big example a lot of companies here can take, especially UBQ. You are already here a few years with us with different projects, so we really can see the material, what you're creating is like cross-industry interesting. You did the first step to really put it in the supply chain, to be the role model there. And my dear colleague has the award for you. So thank you so much for taking the action to the planet. And a big hand again from all of you for this amazing work from this team. And if people are interested to learn more what the project is about, I think your booth number is booth number 1. So it's, if you walk in and you walk all the way down there, you can actually meet up and figure out more about this. Anything you would like to say as a final word? I don't know.
It's been a pleasure working with UBQ and also getting the right support from Startup Autobahn. And I think this is a great opportunity for Maxion to showcase one more example of how we like to partner with startups, and hopefully in the coming future we can do more of these partnerships. But I want to wish UBQ and Maxion together great success.
Well, I want to thank Maxion for taking this step. It was interesting and challenging, and we did it in the last minute. Startup Autobahn has been an incredible platform to showcase our capabilities, and we encourage every startup to take the initiative and join. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And after 3 years, I think over 10 pilots came out of all our scouting activities. So not only in the sustainability team, you really take the action to change something in the company and with other ones. So we have to say thank you. And guys, enjoy the next sessions with the startups and mingle with them later on booth 1.
So thank you, Hannah, thank you, UBQ, and thank you, Maxion, for this amazing performance in that project. Now we come to our next cluster. Our next cluster is related to production AI and automation. And in that sense, we do have a little delay. The startup certificate will be here in any minute. So I'm gonna give you a short intro of what you're gonna see. So you're gonna see certificate performing with Bosch together, and they have been working on a project that relates to simplifying their product compliance. And now they're already there, so we can continue perfect in time. Nico and Sebastian, please on stage, telling us more about regulatory compliance. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you first of all for the nice introduction. So a warm welcome from our side. We talk about the next generation product compliance platform. I'm Nico. And I'm Sebastian, hi. Exactly. Then let's start to talk about the problem.
Yeah, we as Bosch, we develop a lot of systems for driver assistance and automated driving. Yeah, you see some of our components here, radar sensors, video sensors, ultrasonic sensors, and of course also systems for automated emergency braking. And there's a lot of pain for compliance with existing regulations and upcoming regulations, because there are regular updates, there are many, the sources are a lot, and it's very time consuming for investigation. What is the valid text? Yeah, what is new? What has changed? And we have been puzzling together those regulations in order to develop our requirements and our system according to the market needs. And here comes the activity.
And I hope, yeah, we have the pain relief or the painkiller for actually your problem. So we developed a SaaS platform. In the first place, we are digitizing all the regulatory content that is out there. We are crawling it, digitizing it. Usually this data is trapped in PDF files or formats that it's not easily to read. So we are digitizing that in a so-called graph data model. So we have a huge graph of regulatory data. We are analyzing that data with AI intelligence to find out requirements in regulatory texts. And all of that we make available on our platform that the engineers can easily interact with it. So all the technical compliance workflows, from like finding requirements, interpreting them together between engineers and regulatory experts, can be done on our platform. But more than that, all this data that is generated on our platform can be exported to like the most common requirements management tools. And the most important part is actually that we digitizing the complete chain from usually paper-based documents into a full digital product compliance process. And it's updatable, so we can identify changes in regulation and how this will affect the product development. And I'll now hand over to the specific use case, how Bosch is actually working with our software.
Yes, thanks. So I want to present you two use cases. Yeah, the first one is you get a new regulation. Yeah, maybe last week there was a publication of an automated emergency regulation in the US. So certificate grabs this regulation, makes a digital copy, and we can directly work with it. So we can derive requirements of the tool and then export those requirements to our requirements tooling we have internal Bosch, also different ones, of course. Yeah, so we can export maybe to code beamer or to doors, whatever you're using. And so it's very comfortable for us to work with it. Second is, on a daily basis, I get a lot of requests on regulations. Yeah, for instance, somebody's asking me last week, is it a child or an adult you have to brake on for an AB, yeah, according to the regulation? And that's not an easy question, because this is changing with the regulations. Yeah, there are adaptations of the documents, and you would have to read about 6 to 8 documents in order to find out what is the latest version, what is happening out there. And with this tool, I simply click on the regulation, I click on the paragraph, I see when it has changed. I saw there's defined you have to test on a child, yeah, and then I can derive an interpretation and provide a solution to the engineering within, I would say, 5 minutes, which would have taken me 1 hour before. Yeah, and so for me, I can concentrate on my engineering work.
Yeah, that's exactly what we are trying to achieve. Efficiency, but also security inside of technical compliance processes when developing a new product. So yeah, I mean, the highlights of our POC or our pilot project definitely was that we could work with Bosch together and get real user feedback. And now we want a champion actually that is loving our product. That's exactly what a startup is searching for. And yeah, this was basically from our side like the most valuable part of the POC. But also this is a super interesting one, since these regulations are so complex that even the legislator who issues the regulation do failures. And our tool actually, because we are working with AI and data and software, we could detect actually these problems early on in the draft stage in order that the Bosch colleagues could approach the legislator during the legislative process and address these issues, that it gets solved and not become a law. So that was a super cool cooperation. And yeah, for us at the moment we are in follow-up discussions to really bring it to production inside of Bosch, that everybody can use our tool. And yeah, for me it was a huge success. I'm not sure
the
how
same.
you see it.
Yeah. Thanks.
But yeah, thank you. You can meet us. We have a booth. I can explain a little bit more about the tool. And yeah, you are super welcome to see you later.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thanks. So now, next in the line is Cargo Cube. We see how to increase visibility across the global supply chain, but not on a high level, really on an item level. So be prepared and please be on stage, Mark and Willem.
Hi, my name is Willem van Vianen. I'm client partner at DXC. I'm working very closely with Mark from Cargo Cube on a client that I cannot disclose at this moment in time, but a very interesting pilot to help them to optimize their supply chain.
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Mark. I'm super excited to be here today because the first time we were here because of DXC in 2017. In 2018 we had our batch, and we actually worked until last year to convince the first common client to work with us. What we do is that we found the challenge of especially manufacturing companies that they have no visibility over their logistics and supply chains. They usually buy hundreds of products from hundreds of different suppliers, and these hundreds of different suppliers use multiple logistics service providers. And this is basically that is leading to a lot of logistics and supply chain challenges, which is basically the demand is changing in the industry. You have to, it's more volatile, it's global. You have the Ukraine crisis, you have a lot of different scenarios in the world where things are changing. This also leading to unpredictable risks. So if parts are not available, you cannot produce your truck, you cannot produce your car or any other product that you are producing. And you also cannot really interact with the supply chain partners. And also there's of course somebody that talks to somebody between companies, but there's no interaction between different parties and different players. And this leads to these typical things. You have contingencies, so you need to fly parts over the world. You have high stocks level, and you have a lot of tight capital because you have to stock these parts, which is very, very costly. So we at Cargo Cube, we build a platform where everyone can interact. We are creating networks where the suppliers can provide information, the logistics service providers can provide information. We connect all the data down to an item level. So if a company like Mitsubishi Fuso is building their truck, they actually get a precise item level number, and we can put an ETA on this item level and can tell them if there's a deviation, like a delay, so that they can predict precisely their production and plan their production in advance. And now we are working together with DXC. Maybe you can do a small introduction to
The value add of DXC here is that through our global scale, we are able to scale up and integrate very innovative solutions like Cargo Cube in an application landscape of a client, and accelerate data-driven decision making and automation to make sure that it benefits the client.
So I'm going a little bit into the product. It's basically we collect all data that is available in this supply chain industry. If it comes from the supplier, logistics service provider, freight forwarder, or any other party that is involved into this process. Which brings this full visibility end to end, so we can even monitor the purchase order, so we can monitor the purchase order of a single part to the final delivery. And through these predictions that we are doing and these deviation detection, they can, as I said, replan it, and this leads to a high optimization of global supply chains. So there are lots of benefits, of course. Three are that the customers, so if it's on the shipping side, they can keep their promise, or they can actually build their products. They have a higher efficiency. They can plan it and replan their production. It's not necessarily important to get parts on time. If you know it in advance, you can produce a different truck, for example. If you know 1 month in ahead that a specific engine will not be on time, you can produce a different truck, vehicle, or whatsoever. And this makes the logistics, of course, of the entire process more resilient, because all the problems that occur, you can handle them because you understand the risk. And this is how the future with DXC and Cargo Cube looks like.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we're trying to achieve with clients, to help them to automate and create scenarios for quick decision making using AI and other innovative products. But before going there, we need to make sure that all the supply chain data is available, that the planning data is available, and that it is all collected in one integrated platform. And typically that's a roadmap that we do step by step with customers to achieve more efficiencies across the full supply chain.
Thank you very much for your attention. We have a booth in the production area. We're very happy if you come and stop by. And as nobody started the timer, I will now start to tell you about my life a little bit, because I think I have unlimited time left. No? Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you. We would have loved to hear that. However, we do have still a bit of an agenda and still a bit more to go. Even though I want you to get a bit engaged now, and don't worry, it's way too hard for some aerobic exercise. So I'm gonna have a little poll. So here, please raise your hand. Who's here with a EV car? Oh, nice, nice. Hybrid car? Interesting, so the numbers growing. And public transport, last but not least? That's amazing, that's sustainable. Great, great, thank you. So, please welcome next on stage a collaboration between Mercedes-Benz and Spread. Thomas and Patrick.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Thomas, and this is Patrick. We are happy and proud to present to you today our project about next level EE analysis, so electric and electronic analysis, and how to efficiently manage software and electric complexity. And yeah, let's start with a simple question. So imagine, or experiment, imagine going into Feierabend every day 2 hours earlier without getting fired. So meaning saving 25% of your working time every day with our tool. And how you could do this with our tool we are showing you today. But first, Patrick will take over and explain you the challenge we are facing.
Exactly, thank you, Thomas. Yes, when we compare the mechanical and the EE complexity, we see that the EE complexity grow much faster. And in production, we have the challenges that many people work on the vehicles and they don't have the informations for the cars they need for their work. And if they have EE topics, they don't have a central platform where they can find this information. And this is very huge topic for us. And there we developed together with Spread a solution which provides this information from the different departments of R&D and on a central platform. And that's how we want to get faster in the EE work, in the work with the EE topics. And Thomas will show you now the tool and how it works. Thank you.
Yeah, so before I show you the tool, maybe shortly summarizing the challenges Patrick was describing. So users in the production area face electric errors and issues, functions are not working as expected. They don't have practical tools to resolve these issues, to find the root cause actually. And what are we doing? We are providing exactly what Patrick described. So we are providing error cause suggestions by combining data from different systems, different departments, and also different dimensions, and providing information configuration specific. So we are showing a digital twin of the vehicle that is produced in the factory so that the user only sees the information that is relevant for him or her, only exactly to the configuration that the customer ordered. And how does this look like? So here you see a live demo of our tool. We provide a fast and easy localization of electric components by visualizing errors and components in the 3D model. So even for inexperienced production workers, our tool might be very helpful to fast and easy onboard new colleagues. And you can fast and easily see which errors were detected and how these components that detected the errors are connected in the vehicle. Because thinking today or seeing today's vehicles and their complexity with electrics, electronics and also software, there are so much possible root causes for a simple error that it's a really time-consuming issue to resolve electric errors. And this is where we see our use case in the production by providing the information VIN-specific to the specific use case in the production, showing the electric connections, but not only the electric connections, also bringing the logic on top. So what we are doing is bringing the electric layer, the physical connections together with the logical connections and the functions of a vehicle. Because this is today often not possible or hardly possible to be done. And we are doing this by connecting different systems from different departments. And we use our graph database for this, so our engineering intelligence knowledge. And this is how it looks like for one specific car in practice. And not only for production, this is very useful. So when you think ahead, when you imagine where else our tools or this database could be used, there are so much more possibilities besides for production. It's about after sales, because they are also facing the same issues there. They have also electric errors and don't know where the root cause might be. And we are also working together closely with the engineering departments to build up the digital twin, to extend the digital twin by adding more information, enabling more use cases. And this is our approach and our idea how we want to transform the automotive community. And we are very proud and happy to have Mercedes-Benz as such a trustful and long-term partner next to our side. And yeah, if you're interested, we are quite close to the avatar vehicle. You can meet us there. If you have any questions, if you're interested, let us know. I was told that we are ahead of time, so sorry for having 5.5 minutes. Then 5 minutes planned, but yeah. Happy to see you at our booth, and now enjoy the next presentations. Thank you very much. See you later. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, one small announcement. I was told that there is vehicles parked in a non-parking area. So I would kindly ask you to remove the vehicles. Can't say for certain which part, but yeah, it's very tight here with the parking spaces. So please, as in the last poll, it's amazing that a lot of you came with public transport. So as for the next topics, we are going to see Felix and Arcade. Felix is pretty much, it's an autonomous forklift that is supposed to speed up the automation within the intralogistics. So I'm not sure if they have their units with them here today, but there we go. Robin? Yes? So Robin from Felix, it's a collaboration between Felix and Webasto, but we do have the wrong slide on the screen. Sorry. This will be the next. It'll be there in 1 second. Hold on. Perfect. Now, Robin, your turn.
Okay, perfect. Right, hello everyone. Nice to be here. I'm Robin from Felix. And we are a robotics company from Munich, and we build the robots you can see on the left side. And yeah, just in a moment I will show you what's so special about them. So in principle today, want to show you what we do, so you know who we are, then what we did with Webasto in our pilot project, and later on also show you what the potential, long-term potential of our technology within the automotive industry is. So, who of you knows this guy? Okay, a few people are awake, not everybody. But so my co-founders and I, after university, had a look at the system and thought, okay, we could do it better. It hasn't changed for 100 years almost. And so we saw all the good new technology that was around at university when we graduated, and thought, okay, let's leave out all the stuff that's unnecessary from the forklift and replace it with good technology. And that left us with the Felix unit, our product. So you see we actually left everything out that's not touching the Euro pallet or the load carrier that the forklift is moving around. And this gives us a number of benefits. First of all, we automate, which is great. Second, we are very, very compact, so we are very space saving. And the third part is we enable new processes, and that by far is the best thing about our product. And you can see in the video, if you pay close attention, what I mean by enabling new processes. So a robot just cannot drive into a pallet, but it can drive through a pallet and move it out sideways. And that is breaking barriers of intralogistics, like the first in, last out principle. That just doesn't longer apply with our technology. So that's already pretty big, but we want to do something even bigger. And you can see that in the next video. So what you've seen is the fully autonomous loading of trailers and trucks. And so we want to do it fully autonomous within less than 5 minutes. And just to give you a reference, for doing it manually right now, you kind of play ping pong with the truck. You go in with the forklift, take one pallet out, and then you go in and take one again. And so that takes about 60 minutes manual, and so we want to bring it down to less than 5 minutes automate, which is a pretty big game changer, not just for intralogistics, but also for transport logistics. So coming from our vision to also a bit where we are at right now and what our pilot project with Webasto was about. So we started out with our earliest use case, and that's like an ultra-compact A2B transport. So we are able to move omnidirectional and therefore also go into very, very narrow aisles. And Webasto had a use case that needed this space efficiency. And so we did a pilot project in February together, just over 2 days to get started with the first project, to see the infrastructure. So that also was the goal, to see the infrastructure, to test in the real world and evaluate the use case overall. And so here you can see a map of what we did, actually a pretty simple process from the pickup to a drop-off zone, and that was like in Webasto's supermarket where they store empty goods. And so moving on with Webasto later on, and also what the potential overall is for the automotive industry and for the production in automotive especially. Let's have a look at where we're at for our product right now. First of all, we spent kind of 4 years to build very defensible tech, and right now are in our go-to-market phase with multiple pilot projects with different partners, and really want to roll out our technology, our Ready Robot, in 2024 with our first 20 units with different partners. And so the first use case is the one you have already seen, a simple A to B transport. And that's also the easiest solution for brownfield automation, also because we are so compact and sometimes can make automation possible for sites where other robots are just too big for. And one example for a use case would be like the feeding of a production line, for example, where you can bring in new pallets and also ready pallets that come out after the production line. You can bring it back to the storage. The next use case, actually way better in my opinion. Oh wait, yes, that one. We can drive through pallets, and that's kind of like a line block storage, and we can condense the space you need for storage overall. And there we can implement it into making full process cycles, so you kind of have like a buffering zone with pallets. Then you make the A to B transport to go into the production line, and then after the production line you can feed the ready products back into a block storage which is also very condensed. So there you can make a whole automated circle of processes to really get your automation level up within the production side. So if that's interesting to you, I would love to get in touch with you later on and hear your feedback on our solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin. So make sure that you talk to him. Robin, you'll see him on booth number 27 inside. So next, we do have Arcade for us. Arcade is changing on the way of loading all sorts of boxes within a shop floor, and they do this with augmented reality, which is pretty much attached to the desk there. And in that regard, I'm kindly asking on stage Rob and Lucas, and it's a collaboration between Arcade and Schaeffler.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having us today. Rob and I will present you the augmented reality guidance for packaging system in our aftermarket kitting operations in Halle next to Leipzig, where we have a logistics center of Schaeffler. And before starting into the actual pilot, I would just introduce a bit of the aftermarket kitting operations. We have there inbound almost 3,000 pallets of kits and packaging material, but outbound is the more interesting, up to 3,500 pallets actually per day. And we have different stations there, so the pallets arrive and getting unpacked into our standard containers. Then the components get kit into the actual cartonars, the smaller ones, which go to the customer in the end. And then the interesting part comes the pick and label station, where they get consolidated into the handling units. And the process is as follows. The employee has a source box, it's named KLT, Kleinladungsträger in German, and a source pallet. And basically he can take there's only one type of kits on either, and he has to take from either and label them and put them into the sink. So the challenge is, you can imagine, maybe you have played Tetris back in the days, or maybe you're still playing it. The challenge is here in 3D Tetris with not just 5 types as with the traditional Tetris, but up to 200, 250 different dimensions of boxes. So that's quite a demanding task for the employee, and resulting in actually some inefficiency. So as I mentioned, he just knows the currently lining up kits and needs to pack them in the sink, but he doesn't know about the future, so he doesn't know what kits come next, so he can't properly prepare or pre-plan in the end, which results in a bad efficiency with the filling rate and also longer handling times, because he has to think about, okay, where should I place it? What happens also sometimes is that there's one box left, one kit, which doesn't fit anymore in the HU, so either he has to unpack again and repack more efficiently, or has to order another HU, which then in the end costs space in the truck. And with that being said, I would hand over to Rob. He's introducing the solution.
Thank you, Lucas. So how to solve the challenge here with AKO in Halle at Schaeffler is at first Schaeffler provides a software that will calculate the optimal filling rate of each big box, and that software will also calculate the exact position of each small box that needs to go into the big box. These locations are sent to our software, and we will dynamically then project the correct location of each box into the big box. At the same time, using the 3D sensor, we validate that the box is placed in the correct position. If it's in an incorrect position, it will be countermeasured and you will know to replace it. So then this will result in an improved handling time, so they will improve the handling time of packing each box and minimizing the repacking options. And minimizing the repacking options. So in the next slide, you can see the video of the AKO use case.
So you can see a colleague of Lucas placing the boxes and being guided by the arcade system. So you can see where it needs to go. When it's good, it will change to blue and it will validate it's in the correct position. And like that, you will fill the box. We will cut the video later on up to 70 centimeters, and we know in a 3D environment where each box is located. We can validate it.
So, but that's not actually our normal workstation. That's just a demonstrator. That's not how it looks like in our logistics center.
Indeed. So the project enters the pilot phase quite soon, and we are heading for rollout later this year, end of the year, more or less.
Yeah, with
that being said, so this is the team that we compiled. So it's a joint development between Schaeffler and Arcade. So of course there's the colleagues in AKO and Halle that's running the project over there. There is us that provide the software and the system. And then there's of course advanced production technology, which is Lucas' team in Erlangen, close to Nuremberg, that made it work actually, that made the first demos and so on, and installation. And today, of course, we would like to thank also the colleagues from STARTUP AUTOBAHN to have us here and show it to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was the stage. It's okay. All right. So, last but not least, with regards to production AI and automation, we do have our guest. In fact, it's a portfolio company of Plug and Play. So invested them in their seed round recently, earlier this year. Very, very excited to hear about Neutron and their collaboration with S3 Micro.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope the heat is not treating you too bad. So I'm pleased to be here as a representative of ST Microelectronics to present a solution that we have developed together with our partner company, Neutron. To build a real system, to make a proof of concept, for sure we need to start from existing elements. And we know we all need software, we all need hardware, but we also need ecosystem that can help, particularly new companies, to develop new solutions. That's why we have partnered with Neutron using our BMS solution, where you can see a node solution with a transceiver solution for connection of nodes in an isolated way. And we have built a battery pack, a simulation of the battery pack, where thanks to the technology Neutron has provided, we were able to not only use the 5 temperature sensors that are provided by the IC, but also combine this data with other 10 virtual temperature sensors, which a digital twin running in the same microcontroller that is already controlling the BMS is able to compute, thus delivering what? A better estimation of the state of charge of the system, but also a better sensor placing, because thanks to the Neutron algorithms, we can also compute where to better fit the 5 sensors that we have together. And this was the starting point to build solution together, because then, after that, Neutron has developed a new solution for us. To you, Scott.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Max. My name is Scott Cobble, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Neutron, and it's a privilege to be here with you today. So as Max just described, this was a demonstration that we presented about 3 months ago, and since then we've gone even further with this application. And in particular, what we've seen is that the state-of-the-art in battery management system technology just isn't adequate to support the growth of e-mobility and also of the second life battery market. So, as many of you are aware, is that the asset of an electric vehicle includes over 30 to 50% of the cost in the battery itself. So, within that battery pack, you have a BMS control that does not adequately account for aging mechanisms in this system. So that's things like plating or aspects that definitely degrade over time, but that current methods aren't adequately able to measure or model. As a result, engineers have no other choice but to oversize and overdimension the pack, and then over time this clearly is not the most efficient solution, and it's not cost effective either. Moreover, state of health information does exist, but there's global consortiums that are working on standardizing this metric, and what we've seen so far are data-driven methods. However, transmitting data to the cloud to store, to process, and interpret are very high. And moreover, these state of health estimates are very conservative, and this leads the entire asset of the battery to be undervalued. So what we see is that physics-based models are able to provide accurate predictions over a wide variety of operating conditions because they proceed from the physics themselves. So going on beyond simple time series data of voltage and current, what we're able to do is bring an embedded digital twin. So this is a physics-based model that runs in real time inside the electronics hardware already in the device. So what we've done is we've encapsulated years of research and development into what we call the digital twin factory. Years ago, we began with electric motors as well as power electronics, and now we've gone to batteries. And so what this approach is able to do is it incorporates the geometric design and materials, and in particular, the electrochemical properties of the specific cell and chemistry. From there, we're able to utilize our techniques to maintain accuracy of very FEM-based, partial differential equation-based models, DFN, to bring those down to a level that is very computationally efficient, such that these physics-based models can run in real time. And what does this provide? It provides much better estimates for temperature, as well as for things like overpotential, things that contribute directly to aging mechanisms. So overall, this results in a reduced battery size to achieve the same performance. There's a better estimate of state of health, an optimized usage of cloud infrastructure when it is necessary to pass data for fleet management, and finally, it enables a battery passport that's much more accurate and physics-based. So legislation just was released a few days ago at the European level, and we're glad to be part of this effort. So what does this all mean at the end of the day for a battery pack? It means that over the life of the asset, by incorporating this physics-based, real-time embedded digital twin, you're able to use a control strategy that maintains the life of this battery pack and increases the economic value in years to come. So as we look at the battery second life market, you see from less depreciation, improved warranty, and ultimately enabling this battery passport. It's worth mentioning that NewTwin's physics-based embedded digital twin technology isn't just about batteries, but it also involves electric motors, power electronics, and more applications in automotive as well as in industry. And we're really excited to share with you all today this demonstration, our latest application, and thank you very much for being here. And my name is Scott Cobble, and very happy to represent NewTwin today. Thank you.
We invite you to come at our NewTwin booth to learn more about all these solutions and what we can do in thermal management. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Scott and Max. So, as for now, we are done with the production AI and automation batch. We want you to stay hydrated, so we have a little hydration break. Make sure you be back in max 5 minutes, and then we'll continue with enterprise and very interesting projects again. Thank you.
Guardalo gioca più storia.
Nach bevor ich Strafzeit wechseln.
So, everyone getting ready, please. We do have our next cluster, Enterprise, coming up. We're going to see 4 amazing collaborations between Synthesia, Desperate, Circuit Booking, and Britlet. So, I'll give you guys just a couple more minutes to get seated, and then we're gonna start. So, everyone, please, your attention on the stage, on the screen here. Be excited. Next on stage, you're going to see a unicorn. I'm very excited about that. So, Synthesia, in collaboration with Bosch, they will show you a solution that they pretty much, in a nutshell, it's text to video in via II. So there's your microphones. Jos and Janos, nice. Let's go.
Although that will be great. There we go. So more or less you everything said so far, what is to be said, because it's pretty easy and but still great. So my name is Janos from Bosch. This is Josh from Synthesia, and we are representing our collaboration here today. And so we see currently 2, I would say, big trends. So like the one is seeing everything in video, and the other one is AI, and how we bring that together, generative AI, what we are currently exploring we will see in a second. Josh will show you.
Thank you, Janos. Hi, everybody. I hope you're not melting in the audience. It's very warm in Stuttgart today. So, just to give you a bit of background about Synthesia and what it is, Janos alluded to this a little bit, but we're a text-to-video AI platform. So we make it easy for anybody without any video production experience to create video, without the need for actors, studios, anything that's associated with the traditional video production methods. We're trying to sort of disrupt that area. So as Janos mentioned, there are a variety of different ways in which Bosch is starting to test this system out. So we're currently in a pilot phase right now. Things like internal training, internal communications, these are the sorts of things you could start to use this system for. So, rather than us do the talking, we thought we would let you all see our digital avatars and have them present to you how the system works. So, I'm going to hand over to the digital Josh and the digital Janos. So, let's see if this works.
Hi Janos, it's great to see you here at the Startup Autobahn Expo. Can you tell me a little bit about how Synthesia has played a role at Bosch?
Hey Josh, it's great to see you too. So, there are a number of ways Synthesia has helped us. Firstly, the system enables us to create personalized videos in minutes in almost any language. This allows us to scale and maintain our video content needs globally.
Okay. And what about internal collaboration? Can you share a little more about how Bosch have been able to make this work at scale?
Yeah, so because we have the ability to collaborate in real time, it means we can iterate faster and get everybody's input. There's been a 30% boost in engagement for our subsidiary company BSH. We've also seen significant cost savings within the global training team.
And lastly, what does the future of AI look like at Bosch?
Right, so by 2025, the aim is for all Bosch products to either contain AI or have been developed or manufactured with its help.
Very exciting. Let's hand it back to the real Josh and Janos.
Okay, thank you, digital Josh and digital Janos.
It was a pleasure.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little demonstration about how you create something like this, because what might look very sophisticated behind the scenes, on the front end is actually very simple and easy to do. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how you can go about creating video. So here what we've got is the ability to drop in an avatar, in this case my avatar. I can start to change the backgrounds, add some background media. If you think about your own internal use cases for something like this, maybe you've got a whole series of product lines and you want to showcase how these products work internally. Might be that you're showing someone or teams how to use internal systems. Could be that you're showing teams how to use something like an SAP system. You could do some screen recordings very easily to show those individuals how to use those systems. So this is saving a lot of time versus those kind of, as I mentioned at the beginning, traditional video production techniques. Because you don't need people in the studio, you just need to type in some script like we've got at the bottom here. You can repurpose templates that we've already created, or you can create your own. So super easy. You can even import your own PowerPoints as well. So once you've created your video, so we're almost at the end of the process here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit generate. And once it's generated, then I get the end result. So I'm going to play this video for you now. This is what you just saw me create in the demonstration.
Hey, my name is Josh. I'm excited to be here with you at Startup Autobahn. Now let me show you how easy it is to create a video in Synthesia.
Here's a numbers slide calling out some big numbers. Use this slide for showcasing results and analytics. There's also a title and subheadline for you to introduce these numbers.
By 2025, the aim is for all Bosch products to either contain AI or have been developed or manufactured with its help.
So very simple, just a really bare bones example, but just to show you how quickly it is to go from a blank canvas to a fully fleshed out video in just a matter of moments. So thank you very much. And danke.
See you also at our booth, and we will be happy to show you more.
Thank you very much. By the way, booth number 23. So, excited to announce the next project, a collaboration between Porsche and Circuit Booking. Please come on stage, Sebastian and Andrew. You get your micro there? Perfect, and they give you a little taste of the track. So every of you guys who's the racetrack enthusiasts, listen in.
All right, thank you very much for having us here at Startup Autobahn. My name is Sebastian, I'm the founder of Circuit Booking, and this is Andrew from Porsche Digital. We'd like to introduce Circuit Booking to you, which is a fully digital marketplace. So from Startup Autobahn to the racetrack, so to speak. And here we go. So, thanks for that. So in essence, we are like hotel.com but for racetracks. So if you fancy to put your car on a racetrack, we are the marketplace to go to. And we are started our business back in 2011 as a pure B2B platform, renting racetracks for pretty much all European car manufacturers, including those who are here. And since a couple of years, we went to the B2C side as well for track days, driving experiences, and so on. So what's the situation when you want to put your car on a racetrack? Basically, it's quite annoying to book yourself into any kind of event. It reminds me about booking a taxi many, many years ago, where you basically have to find the right number if you go to a different city. And this is what we see here. So we have still PDF documents nowadays that have to be filled out. We still have wires that have to be made without any invoice and things like that. So pretty much what you see on marketplaces like Airbnb, Booking.com, you don't see in the track day marketplace. And that's why we created Circuit Booking, to basically streamline your customer experience on one central platform. Be it for cars or for bikes, doesn't matter. We basically analyze the data of the customers and give you the best experience to be booked. It's a fully digital and data-driven platform. So for those of you who work for OEMs or Tier 1 who want to sell after-sales products, we can structure the data for all customers that are coming with their cars. So if someone, for instance, is coming with a McLaren, as I said, we can offer Porsche the possibility to offer a test drive to those customers who drive the wrong car, so to speak. The entire software is based on a SaaS model, so we can also help the organizers digitizing their way of the business and getting rid of PDF documents. Last but not least, apparently this is not just on the website, but also an app that we developed to really foster the need to book with just like one thumb, basically while you're doing other stuff, watching TV or things like that. This is what we see nowadays when the customer journey is completed. And that leads me, or hands me over to Andrew, who's our collaboration partner from Porsche Digital on the Taste of the Track project.
So as Sebastian mentioned, I'm the representative from Porsche Digital for Taste of the Track. And so our mission at Taste of the Track is to put sports back in sports car. So what does that mean? We want people to experience the untapped potential of their vehicles by going on safe and immersive driving experiences. That starts with our Taste of the Track branded track days, but eventually will evolve into a platform that allows us to support the development of track performance drivers as they spend more time on track. The pilot so far has focused on determining demand and also business viability of the concept. And here we've already seen some good initial success, with about 80% of our customers being brand new to the track and 15% booking subsequent events with our partners. What we hope to do here is to continue to weave additional experiences, additional events, and additional offerings into the platform so that we can really guide that journey as they go on. Working with Circuit Booking has given us the opportunity to stand up this platform very quickly, underpinning the successes that we've seen to date, and also laying the foundation for the future development. So With that, if you have any questions about circuit booking or taste of the track, please find me or Sebastian at our booth. Otherwise, thank you and see you at the track.
Thank you very much, also from my side. And I think one of the things that we both have in common is the motorsport DNA. So be it Porsche, be it us, we always want to be ahead of competition. And this is sort of what drives us in this collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys. So, next on stage, you'll see Desbird in collaboration of Schaeffler. Desbird is pretty much if you have an open space in your office and you don't know whom office and whose desk to assign to you, there's Desbird.
Thanks. Well, I think it's hard to keep up after AI-generated avatars and booking Porsches on a racetrack. I think now talking about hybrid work kind of feels strange, but I'll definitely give it my best, thanks to the guys in front of you. So, today I'd like to present the collaboration between Desbird and Schaeffler and show you how Desbird has helped Schaeffler to solve their hybrid work problems. So, hybrid work, I suppose as this is a relatively automotive-heavy event, might not sound too familiar to everybody, but let's scope the problem, let's scope the entire situation first. So, according to a recent report by Gartner and the World Bank, until 2028, more than 1 billion people will be working hybridly. So this equals 12% of the world's entire population by that time. So it's safe to assume that it's a big situation. A lot of people will be affected by that. But why is it such a big challenge for companies, for enterprises like Schaeffler? So hybrid work has changed everything. It certainly has changed the game of the office. Whereas previously in the past, people were coming 5 days a week to the office, they had a fixed desk. Nowadays, they need to coordinate the office attendance. So the employees are asking themselves, is it worth commuting to the office? Is my team in the office? Is enough desks, are enough spaces available? And of course, it's a challenge for companies as well. So they need to manage their office space and asking, okay, how can we engage people to come more frequently to come to the office? Can we ensure that every team has the right spaces to work and collaborate? So especially the last two questions were extremely relevant and pressing for Schaeffler. So this is why they started a POC with us 2 years ago, one of their locations, and ever since then rolled out bigger. So what is Desbird exactly? So Desbird helps to master the dynamics of hybrid workspaces, and it basically consists of two core products. You see on the left-hand side, there's the employee-facing part, there's employee apps, so all natively integrated in Microsoft Teams. So if you're using Teams, you don't need to switch tools, you can just do everything from Teams or of course Slack, but there's also mobile apps, there's a web app as well. And next to that, there's a very powerful workspace platform, which is of course really relevant for decision makers in the end to plan long-term office needs. So let's have a quick look and deep dive into the employee apps first. So we are, and I think you initially mentioned and introduced us as a desk booking tool. Well, we do see ourselves a bit differently because we did a lot of user research actually, and the decision-making process, the user journey of an employee nowadays is different. So instead of starting with the where to sit, always start with the when. When is a good day to come to the office? When is my favorite coworker I'm always meeting for lunch? When is my project group in the office as well? When is a good day to come to the office? So this is the week planning, where we make it incredibly simple, just with one click indicating, okay, I'm coming to the office tomorrow, I'll be working from home on Monday. So really making it as simple as possible. And then of course, if you decide that you're coming to the office, then you need the right desk, you need the right resource for the specific day. So maybe you want to sit next to your team, so you can all see this on an interactive floor plan. Maybe you need a specific height adjustable dual monitor screen because you have a lot of Excel spreadsheet work on that specific day. So you can just filter for that equipment as well, and then just do a very simple booking with just one click, and then you have done your booking. And of course, if you need a meeting room on a specific day, you can just seamlessly book it from the same platform. We integrated with Outlook, we integrated with Google Calendar, so you don't need to replace any of those systems. You can just put it all into one platform in the end. And talking platforms, of course, what else? Now, what is particularly relevant for enterprises? This is the workplace platform behind that. So on the left-hand side, for office managers, it needs to be very simple to set up and maintain the offices. Some areas might change. They want to make certain areas interactive, bookable, assign desks, restrict certain areas if it's confidential data inside a specific office, for example. But of course, what's increasingly important, what in the end made or helped Schaeffler to take the decision to actually define Desbird now, 2 years after the initial rollout, as the global standard for hybrid work, is the workspace analytics part behind that. So here,
we actually allow them to retrieve valuable insights into how their people are using the office. So they see trends, they see gaps between certain areas. Maybe on Friday, Monday, less people are coming to a specific floor. So here they could decide to maybe artificially reduce that available space, hence reducing office costs like heating, electricity, cleaning. They could also, some of our customers have started to adjust their cleaning schedule according to the insights that they retrieve from our platform. And there's more. There's also long-term office needs. So you can decide, okay, maybe we need more collaborative spaces in the future. So you can actually plan your future office setup through us as well. And yeah, we are incredibly thankful for the opportunity. It all started with Schaeffler as one of our largest early-stage companies, but I'm also very proud to say that nowadays more than 5,000 flexible workspaces are managed through us. There's over 15,000 bookings each day done at our platform and more than 100,000 regular users. And yeah, if any of those problems initially sound familiar to you, we're inside. I don't remember the phone book, but I'm sure he can help me. 24, it's 24 apparently, so please feel free to join us. Have a quick talk, more than welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Again, yeah, just amazing to see all the different solutions within the enterprise space come to play. So next, we see on stage a project initiated by DXC and Britnet. Here on stage, we see Lucas and Johannes telling you.
So first of all, hello, my name is Johannes Teufel and I'm an innovation engineer for analytics at DXC Technology. For those of you who don't know DXC is a globally operating technology provider, and during the past months we have been working together with the startup Brightlight on how to accelerate the use of artificial intelligence and an effective operation of AI for our clients, general companies in general. DXC Technology has been involved in this topic of MLOps since quite some time already, but there are some special use cases that require special treatment and an intensified use of real-time analytics. So this is the case when companies require many specific model variations for different kind of machines, components and products. And then additionally we have the fact that data loses its value over time. So for instance, let's think back to COVID, when the consumption and production patterns of many companies changed. So the data of 2019 and earlier became completely worthless. And as a result, the AI models based on this data could no longer be used without any error or concern. And when we combine this with numerous variations in models, this can accelerate the obsolescence of data. So this becomes particularly problematic when training, testing, and deploying new models takes a long time. So we aim to address this issue together with Brightlight. Brightlight is capable of processing large amounts of data on the GPU at an exceptional speed, which is complementing our DXC offering regarding MLOps and manufacturing quite well. And to accomplish this, we have designed this pipeline, you can see in the back of me, for cloud-based data processing in Industry 4.0 scenarios. Technologically, we are flexible in this regard, but in this case, we are using the cloud-based scalable data warehouse provided by Snowflake to store real-time data from IoT devices. So in this case, we collect data directly at the device and stream it into the cloud, which assures availability of data for further processing. And I guess that's your part.
Right. Thanks, Johannes, for the introduction. My name is Lucas Das Dores. I am a data scientist in Brightlight. And in Brightlight, we offer part of this pipeline here as a GPU-accelerated database and in-database AI. As Johannes mentioned, there are several challenges for implementing this kind of pipeline. It's a pipeline of real-time streaming and real-time analytics. And we devised a project here that's to showcase how we can actually use GPU acceleration and in-database AI. So what we devised here was to stream data from a robot arm that is going to stream the energy consumption, to Snowflake, and we can stream that to Brightlight to use the GPU acceleration and in-database analytics. Why using that? GPU acceleration we need is important for real-time streaming, especially when you have several components, several pieces, several robot arms, several components of your production pipeline. You need to stream this data quickly, you need to process this data quickly on the ETL, and GPUs are very well suited for that. And why in-database AI? In-database AI throws your AI close to your data warehouse. What I mean by that is that you don't need to move the data that is being fed to the GPU to any other environment to train and deploy your machine learning model. It's always done outside our own platform. And the way we did that is doing the streaming of the data, of the robot arm to Brightlight TV. And one of the challenges that we're tackling and we're showing on our pilot project is data drift. What does that even mean? So when you have machine learning in production, like in real-time data, the environment tends to change. Data always changes over time. So that means that if data changes significantly from the data that you used to train your machine learning model, it's going to start outputting rubbish, essentially. So that means that you need to have a platform that can quickly react to that, and you can retrain and redeploy your model. And the way we do that, we simulate the two movements of this robot arm, and we can change between them. And we have two optimized models. So if we change the model without changing the movement, we're going to have poor performance, and the other way around as well. And we can show that directly on our booth. So you can come to our booth and see how that will work. So for what we are doing with the robot arm, this is directly energy optimization, so you can forecast and budget it more tightly if you have machine learning models which produce better forecasts of how much energy you're going to use. But you can use that with several other use cases. You can do the real-time monitoring of the rest of your systems with that. You can do anomaly detection for your production pipelines. And of course, you can do cost and revenue forecast for several of your systems. So you can find us just behind this stage. So it's in this part of the building. We're there on the back. We are happy to share with you more details and show the robot arm in action and show how we actually do the MLOps procedure in a very simple way with a few clicks. So thank you all for your attention, and see you in the booth.
So, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, change of the guard, different moderator, same team, part of the Ventures team, Startup Autobahn, and Roberto. I will be with you for the next 1 hour. I'm really excited to kick off the next cluster that is all about software-defined vehicle. As I said before, one of my favorite topics when it comes to the future of automotive. And I'm super excited to kick it off with one of my favorite startups from today. So that is Sonatus, that will present a POC with NXP. So I invite on stage Jamie Alcantara from Sonatus and Thomas Brown from NXP to tell us how they are solving the challenges for the modern zonal EE architecture. So welcome on stage, guys. The stage is yours.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jaime Alcantara. I'm a senior product manager at Sonatus. I'm excited to be in Schwabenländle. I've actually lived here for 10 years. But I'm even more excited to share the stage with Tom Brown from NXP and tell you a little bit more about zonal architectures and how to enable the full promise of software-defined vehicles. So, Sonatus is accelerating the shift to software-defined vehicles. And we're doing that by blending automotive and data center expertise to develop an award-winning end-to-end software and cloud software, vehicle software and cloud software. Featuring leaders from the data center industry, from companies like Cisco, Arista Networks, Palo Alto Networks. The company was actually founded in 2018, and just within 2 years, our software was already in mass production in Hyundai vehicles. And by 2024, our software will be in dozens of vehicle models and in millions of vehicles in Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis. We have a global presence, so we have offices on all the relevant automaking regions. And whenever I think about software-defined vehicles, one thing that comes to my mind are zonal architectures. And zonal architectures come with a lot of benefits, right? They promise lighter vehicles, more scalability, and more extensibility. But zonal architectures also bring a whole set of new technical challenges. For example, network resiliency against link failures, which is a fancy way of saying what happens if the link between two zones actually breaks while the vehicle is running. We have dynamic network configuration. So how do we enable new capabilities in the infrastructure and networking level after the vehicles have gone into production? And the last one, how do we manage quality of service? So once these capabilities are added, how do we ensure that the time-sensitive and safety-critical traffic is actually not impacted by those capabilities? So to do that, Sonatus has developed a rich end-to-end vehicle platform. And Sonatus Foundation is one of the core products of that platform. And it focuses on network infrastructure to deliver the critical pieces of software-defined vehicles. And with that, also the critical pieces to actually enable zonal architectures. And this platform runs on POSIX-compliant operating system, and of course on industry-leading hardware like NXP. So let me show you how we have collaborated with industry leader NXP to create a live setup to showcase the zonal architecture. So here we have actually this zonal architecture with two zones in the rear and one zone in the front. And essentially we're sending communication from the rear all the way to the front. And we're going to showcase in a short video how our Sonatus Foundation software actually handles all the challenges from the zonal architecture. And before we get there, so just a very quick remark. Sonatus Foundation is actually running on top of NXP's S32G hardware. So you can find this hardware in all of the zonal ECUs that we're featuring here. So let's take a quick look. Here we have our zonal architecture, which is sending traffic from the rear to the zone, and we're monitoring the network performance. So what happens if the link suddenly breaks between different zones? So we can actually see this here at the top, that one of those links breaks, but we can see on the network performance that it's actually not impacting at all the critical traffic. So Sonatus software is actually reacting immediately to the network changes and rerouting the critical traffic to ensure that the network reliability is not impacted. And let me go now to the next video. So here we're actually showcasing that there is video traffic impacting the performance of the critical traffic. So we want to change that. And the way we're going to change that is we're going to go to our cloud platform and we're going to deploy a new network configuration policy. So what this policy is going to do is it's going to change the criticality or the quality and, the queue of the critical traffic, so it isn't impacted by the video traffic. And as we can see, once we deploy the new policy to the network performance goes back to normal levels. And the video traffic is still flowing through the network. So with that said, I've talked a lot about zonal architectures, but all of Sonatus solutions, including connector, automator, and guard, target actually many of the areas of software-defined vehicles. So if software-defined vehicles are important to you, we'll welcome you to our booth and talk more about it. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you very much from Sonatus and NXP. So many of you know about the zonal EE architecture. Raise your hand. Don't be shy, don't be shy. For those who don't know, Sonatus wait for you like at the booth to tell you something more about the project they're working on. But yeah, next startup about the software-defined vehicle is called Pool System. They work with our corporate partner Porsche to develop some machine learning algorithms to predict and optimize the battery of a fleet of electric vehicles. I want to invite on stage Jorge Borbolla, that is the founder of Pool System, to let us know about what the project is about and what they're doing.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us on stage. I'm not the founder of Pool Systems, but close enough. I'm one of the early employees let me walk you through a story of scale before I tell you more about Pull. As you all know, we're undergoing one of the largest transformations in industrial history, certainly in our generations. The amount of effort being put into electrifying the vehicle fleet is enormous, and it's going to have tremendous reach into everybody's lives, into all our companies, and it's really going to affect everyone. And we're doing it for the right reasons. There's no question about it. I mean, I put up the globe because that's ultimately what we're protecting. But I also put up the globe here because there's another story, and that's one of data. We are generating data at a global level at numbers and at levels never seen before. And especially EVs as platforms, really as digital platforms on the road, are generating and are scheduled to generate something on the order of 10 exabytes per month per vehicle. 10 exabytes. How much is an exabyte? I didn't know. So I looked it up. It turns out an exabyte is a billion bytes. So 10 billion gigabytes of data per car per month. It's an amazing amount. And we believe that data holds a lot of answers. The problem is these days, most of that data is going unused and untapped. And that's where we come in. We are a company that is really rooted in Silicon Valley, where we know how to deal with data at scale. The team at Pull comes from the large companies that deal with issues of data at really large scale. We have experts in data science, in software as a service, and in software-defined problems, to a level that we can actually provide tons and tons of answers. The problem is when we started this, we really didn't know what the questions were. We knew how to provide answers out of data, but we didn't know what the questions were. And for that, we turned to our corporate partner, Porsche, who's been amazingly supportive, one of the leading OEMs at the forefront of this wave of transition towards electric vehicles. And they do know what the questions are. They know what the questions are, and they've been a tremendous partner in helping us ask those questions. And together with them, we've started to answer questions very specifically around battery data. And it's important to ask these questions because this transition that we have in front of us is going to cost a lot of money. And again, this could be off by an order of magnitude, still a lot of money. And we believe that it's going to be a period of placing bets. And there are going to be winners, there are going to be losers in this game. And many times, the difference between the winners and the losers won't be much. In fact, we're defining it as a game of inches, or 2.54 centimeters for you Europeans. And this game of inches really is won by making the right decisions over and over again in many different areas. And so the difference, we believe, and who's going to win is going to lose, is going to come down to who makes the right decisions over again. It's going to be a difference of maybe a few inches. But that could be the difference between life and death. And this is an anecdote from American football. You can find it in our booth. It's a fun Al Pacino movie. We'll skip that. But the questions we were asking with Porsche started at the high level. How do we make batteries last longer? How do we source the materials properly? How do we optimize second use? How can we accelerate learning around this? How can we start asking the right questions? But it quickly became clear that we can't just ask broad-level questions. We need to ask very specific questions. And so we started with a focus on the after-sales market, specifically under warranty and predictive maintenance items. But the vision for Pull is broader. The vision is to create a data platform for Porsche and other OEMs that can really help answer questions along the BEV powertrain, and that can help make more profitable decisions, better decisions so the OEMs that use us win. And in the end, if the OEMs become more profitable, the planet wins. Because in this case, it's actually very aligned. Making these batteries last longer, reusing the materials properly. Yes, it's more profitable. It's also better for the planet. And so that's the story of Pull at a very high level. If you're interested, we invite you to see us in booth number 22. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jorge. Thank you from Pull System. So, am I the only one who pack a jacket for this trip to Stuttgart? Because it's freaking cold. I should really put it on. So, next one is a POC made by three companies. So, we're talking about our corporate partner, DXC, who did a project with high mobility and scope technology with the goal of making connected cars, connected insurance, and fleet management seamless into a single solution. So I want to call here on stage Maurice Grandier from DXC, Katharina Recker from High Mobility, and Richard Chang from Scope. technologies. Are these people here? DXC, Scope, iMobility? If not, let me take my paper, and I guess we can jump to the next one. Do we already have the next people, or let me take a couple of minutes. How you enjoy the event so far? There are some cold drink, good stuff. Maybe it's some more food coming later. Let's see. I'm also starving. And yeah, but the weather kind of unexpected. You know, when you're coming from Valencia, you don't want to go to Stuttgart and like finding even like warmer weather than the one you have in Spain. So that is kind of weird. But I guess that is also what like climate change is all about. So making mess wherever possible. Let me check what is happening. Give us a few minutes to resync and get it back to you with the right people, right time. The cool thing is that we're like 10-15 minutes ahead on the planning for this stage, for the outdoor stage. So we can take a couple of minutes of distress waiting for the company to find their way to the outdoor stage and then being back on track stronger than before. So thanks for waiting. Okay, we are back. So we can go over with the cluster for software-defined vehicle. We will now present a POC with 3 companies, DXC, iMobility, and Scope. And for that, I would love to introduce and welcome on stage Maurice Glandien from DXC, Katharina Röcker from iMobility, and Richard Chen from Scope Technology. Guys, the stage is yours.
Much, Roberto. My name is Moritz Glandien. I'm working as a business innovation consultant at DXC Technology, and I'm very proud to be joined here on stage with 2 very innovative companies with which we jointly and openly developed seamless and unique solution approach for all kinds of data-driven mobility services. In general, collecting vehicle data is nothing entirely new, and also using this data or the insights of this data
to create new revenue streams and improve the business efficiency is also something more and more companies are doing. But in the previous years, where we were providing solutions to these companies, also in more recent years, together with Scope Technology, really realized that a big hurdle of these companies is to the availability of accurate, of reliable live vehicle data. And therefore we came across High Mobility and now also Scope Technology, which will now to have a new, more seamless approach to offer these or enable these increased business efficiencies and new revenue streams for data-driven mobility services. And I will now hand it over to Katharina and to Richard to further elaborate on the distinctive startup capabilities.
Thank you, Moritz. So I'm Katharina, I'm from High Mobility. We are a neutral server marketplace. We directly connect to the OEM backends. So we are right in the middle between Scope and the manufacturer. We connect to the backend, but the added value that we really bring is that we provide adapters. So every manufacturer communicates the data in a different way, in a different format, and having to integrate with every manufacturer separately is a lot of hard work, and standardizing even more. Therefore, we take away this burden, and we're specialized in only providing these data interfaces or creating these adapters for the different manufacturer flows. And then we provide one API endpoint for customers such as DXC and Scope. We also add value on the business side, of course. We have one interface for invoicing, for contracts, but the added value in the end comes from Richard in terms of data.
Perfect, thank you very much. So with the data coming from High Mobility, we are able to aggregate that information into our Scope ecosystem. And what that allows us to do is we're able to produce a very bespoke solution, which we then serve multiple industries. On top of that, we also enrich the data further that's coming through from High Mobility. Some of the data that we will enrich will include map information, weather information, customer information, basically any type of information that can affect a risk score. Once we have the data into our platform, we are then able to provide this bespoke solution to the rest of the ecosystem, and there are four main market clients that we serve. Insurance customers, fleet clients, we can have car rental companies, car leasing companies. So those are the four main market verticals. We do serve a couple of others, but for the main purpose of the discussion, the four main market verticals. Now, Scope is quite an established company already. What we have done is we've taken the next level up to be able to ingest further High Mobility data, obviously together with DXC, that we are then able to avoid using third-party devices, whether it is fitted devices, cell phone-based devices in terms of the telematics. And that's how we help the end clients rather to save cost on the hardware components. Perfect. For those who have not come to our booth, please do come through. More than happy to take this discussion further. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, don't go super far away because right now we have a surprise. Maybe for that I want to introduce and welcome in our partner success manager, Fabian.
Thank you, Roberto. But not just thank you, Roberto. Thank you especially to Scope Technology, Scope Technology, High Mobility, and DXC Technology. It is super exciting to see a project like that, to have two startups and a corporate that work together on solving a challenge, and having one startup that is very good at gathering data, one startup that is very good at collecting and combining data into meaningful data packages, and then having DXC Technology which has the expertise and long expertise in implementing those solutions at its customers. And this impactful gathering and compiling of data at end customers is really, really great, and that's why we are super, super happy to present our Startup Autobahn Cross Collaboration Award to you guys and to DXC Technology.
Thank you very much, Fabian. Thank you very much, Startup Autobahn. Yeah, should I say something?
You're free,
okay.
Of course.
So as I already mentioned in the beginning, I'm very proud to have these two companies here with me on stage, because I think this is once again an outstanding example of how open innovation really works and what value add it can bring to companies, to our customers, because we have two distinct two companies with very distinct capabilities, but when adding or combining these two capabilities together, we have an even bigger value add to our customers in the end. And that's why I think this collaboration across three companies is very valuable.
So you can pass the thing on, and then the one that has it can speak.
So on our side, we have to give a special mention to DXC as well for bringing us together. So obviously, having that level of data autonomously come into our platform is a huge pain point that we have been suffering for many years. So having that seamless integration is one less headache for us. Thank you.
Well, I think there's not much more to say. Thank you very much for this honor of providing us this award, and I think, the collaboration will speak for itself in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we can move forward. Congrats to DXC, High Mobility, Scope Technology, also from my side for the amazing innovation award. And while they celebrate, we can move forward with the next POC. We will be inviting on stage Smart Audio, which did a project with our corporate partner Hyundai. The project basically is based on creating like a new advanced HMI based on voice, on clear voice. To all of us, it happened to have like not really a meaningful conversation with conversational AI. This is a company that is trying to tackle that problem, and we want to hear directly from Sandeep Chintala from Smart Audio and Ericsson Edwin from Hyundai. So welcome on stage. Yeah, let's take your microphone. Stage is yours, guys.
Hi, my name is Sandeep Chintala. I'm the founder and CEO of Smart Audio Technologies. We are a UK-based AI tech startup that is looking to deliver clear voice without the noise. Now, to make this session a little more interactive, I thought we'll run a small experiment. I'll ask 4 questions to the audience, and I'd like everyone to participate. Is that okay? Okay, first question. Who here drives the car? Put their hand up, please. Okay, that's majority of the room. While you're driving, keep your hand up, come on. While you're driving, who uses the voice recognition commands to control the features in the car? Like, it can be temperature settings, it can be sending text messages, it can be initiating a phone call. That's the entire room gone, except for that gentleman there. Okay, here's the third question. How many times does the voice recognition successfully answer your question? So you say 5 out of 10 times it works? So the last question was, does your voice recognition work 10 out of 10 times? And the answer is no. Today it doesn't work. And I think you all will agree that the car today is an extension to your household for the modern day driver. So you expect all those comfort, luxuries to also be available in the car. And also the way the automotive industry is evolving, autonomous vehicles or semi-autonomous vehicles at least are going to become a norm in the near future, where the main interaction with the car is with your voice and not with your hands and your legs. And this is the problem that we are solving. We were very proud to be invited by Hyundai Motors, where we did a proof of concept, where we are able to completely separate the driver's voice with the rest of the passengers in the car, and with the driver's voice being very clearly recognized with the HMI. I think over to Edwin for...
Hi, I'm Edwin. I'm heading the office of Hyundai Cradle in Berlin. So we do partnerships and investments for working with European startups. And one program we have is to work together with startups, do a project, a prototype, and bring it over to the headquarters in Korea and Seoul, and showcase it in front of a large audience, which consists of executives, of research engineers, and get like first-hand opinion and feedback. So we did that together with Smart Audio, and we had a nice event for 1 week and had quite good interactions. And the outcome of that was that we had a very high level of satisfied people. It showed out to be very attractive. And that motivated us to take it over and bring it to the next level. And we are very happy to be able to work with you. So also thank you for that. And looking forward to further steps.
Absolutely. And the advantage with our solution is it's not only for new vehicles, we can also adapt our solution to the retrofit vehicles or vehicles that are already on the road, which will give a very compelling opportunity for the OEMs and also the distributors to look at solving some of the pain points that we all are facing today. So we welcome partnership and collaboration from the industry, and we are in booth number 8 if you'd like to discuss more. Happy to work with you and develop solutions for yourselves as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys from Smart Audio. We can move forward with the next company that did a pilot project with Mercedes-Benz, talking about 4-screen. They are basically creating interaction technology embedded into the screen of Mercedes vehicle to interact with other Mercedes drivers, businesses all around the infrastructure, the cities, the navigation. So a nice system we can learn directly from them. Welcoming on stage Tim Hettig from Mercedes-Benz and Francis Igiro from 4-screen. Guys, stage is yours.
Thank you. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our talk on how we jointly revolutionized driver brand interaction and made a product launch reality within 365 days. This is me, Francis, heading product management at 4-screen, responsible for product concepts and then also implementations. And also, I've led the project together with Mercedes. And with that, I'll hand over to you, Tim.
Thanks, Francis, and hi everyone from my side as well. My name is Tim. I'm working at Mercedes-Benz as a product manager for digital services. And in particular, I've been focusing during the last year on a joint project together with 4-screen, about which we want to talk today. So let me start. We at Mercedes-Benz are basically permanently searching for new, cool and innovative services we can offer to our customers. So on the one hand, we are trying to integrate the driver's environment into our vehicles in the best way possible. And on the other hand, we are also looking for new digital business models as a company and for fruitful collaborations with new aspiring young players out there in the market like 4-screen, which brought us to the question, how can Mercedes-Benz enable a seamless driver brand interaction within a premium customer experience?
Exactly, and this seamless driver brand interaction is at the core of our product. So drivers can experience now content such as offers, images, text, additional information directly about point of interest in the navigation experience of Mercedes-Benz vehicles. So we bring relevant value-added content from business partners, and they, for the first time, have the possibility to directly address the highly interesting target audience of Mercedes-Benz vehicles with their contents. And best of all, we provide this with a business model of revenue sharing, where this content is basically placed for a fee into the vehicle. So how did we achieve this project? What kind of milestones went through?
Yeah, so for instance, launching a product within just 365 days. What have been the key milestones here? We started with a kickoff workshop in October 21 to formally launch the project, to get to know each other, and also very important, being one team and having one understanding of common goals has been really crucial. So for instance, being pragmatic and fast has been really important for both sides, right?
Yes, so speed, super important topic, was directly put to test when you look into the contextual dependencies and contextual processes. So never underestimate the time that it takes to set up this, and especially as a startup, the costs that are associated with that, with setting up contracts and all of these frameworks. So, but we made it very fast, and then the go live came.
Exactly. So then in July 2022, we launched our product, the branded pins. So our drivers could see in Germany on the navigation system branded pins in a dynamic way of a variety of German supermarket chains, and also they could interact with them by clicking on a pin, and then a detailed screen shows up with further information about the facility, about the store, and they even could benefit our customers from in-car offers which have been displaying there for getting, for instance, discounts on the next purchase.
Absolutely. And best thing, from day one, we generated revenue for us two partners. And we also had, of course, again, to do pragmatic decisions to be that fast. So, for example, we focused on going live with one part of the fleet for the go live, and 2 weeks later with the rest of the fleet. So, again, this was an important topic to be flexible and agile there.
Exactly, and then a few weeks after we went live, we also gathered feedback from our customers. So actually directly from customers who have been using our feature already. And those insights also confirmed the satisfaction of our feature. So to give you some numbers, for instance, 92% stated that they prefer our new branded pins over the generic pins on the map which have been there before.
Yeah, so many things within 1 year. That was just a glimpse of that. And after all, it's impressive and great to see a product in front of customers and and also live on the street. So what can we share about our key success factors? First of all, we said we want to be fast, but we don't want to compromise on customer experience, of course. It has to be a premium customer experience. So in order to achieve this, of course, we had to make certain decisions. Tim was talking about that, first of all, we focused on a part of the partner network of Fourscreen, the supermarkets, with others coming later. Important was the foundation in the middle for being fast. So first of all, great technology in the Mercedes car, flexibility, the right decisions and resources that are made available from day one, and need to be prepared to move fast. And we as Fourscreen brought a business model to the table where we share revenue with our partner, with Fourscreen, and both sides participate then from the earnings, and everyone covers their own costs. So reducing there also friction and barriers. The partnership mode itself was super important, being agile, delivering software in an agile working mode every 2 weeks, focusing on the right mindset of working as one team across two companies, and of course having experts from automotive, sales, tech across both companies.
So to conclude, we are totally convinced of our product here, and we want to make it even bigger. That's why we are also planning to roll out this feature into further markets, but also we want to extend the scope and the amount of brands and companies we are showing as branded pins on the navigation map. And also use case wise, we think that the branded pins feature has been just the beginning, and we are already thinking about other cool new use cases together with Fourscreen for the future. So it only remains me here to add thank you very much for your attention. We hope we could catch your interest a little bit, and also thanks again to Francis and Fourscreen for the great collaboration. We would be very happy to welcome you at our booth number 14. By the way, we also have an amazing car there, the EQS, where we can even show you our branded pins feature in the car. So come around and see you there.
Thank you as well from my side, Tim, to you, to Mercedes. Great project. For everyone for listening in, and see you at our booth. Have a good day.
So, thank you very much, Fourscreen and Mercedes-Benz, for showcasing their amazing POC. We can move forward. So, what happens when you mix digital art, interactive music, and AI in the infotainment system of cars? That is what Talk tried to do with the Smart iX and DevXR with the POC that they will showcase right now. So, guys, please come on stage. Stage is yours. There come microphones in a second.
Thank you for the introduction. Welcome everybody to our presentation today, what we achieved together with our valuable partner Talk from Turkey. And yeah, it's really hot. Thank you for staying with us and listening. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Mehmet Arziman. I'm the CEO of SmartX. We are a smart tech, IoT and AI company providing smart living solutions. And we are around working with big OEMs and also beside the automotive industry with many other partners. But today, I want to give you an introduction to something we did together. Before I go there, I want to introduce my colleague Mehmet Ünal. He will give you a more brief introduction into what we achieved jointly with Talk. So today we are speaking about the next level app ecosystem, the Talk True Store. And the True Store, when we speak about this, what did we do differently and what is the challenge, right? Because everybody wants to have an app store, an application store. What we did differently is we tackled the challenge completely from a different approach. We looked at this from a smart device perspective, not from a classical car perspective. And this gives us much more freedom and much more inspiration and creativity to create a new application platform. And how do we actually do the third living space, right? We heard this many times today, but being want to be a software-defined company is one thing, being one is a different thing, and we're gonna show you how we achieve this together. Together, let me say some sentences from the startup perspective about Talk. We worked really here on an eye level on a project. We did this within 1 year, and it's now in the market. And this is not just a small feature, it's a whole application platform, reaching from mobile to portals, and the whole flow, which is that you see the application in the car. And this whole True Store, which we developed, gave us the possibility to enable new innovative applications for developers and partners like Neva XR. And we will speak today about what we did with the True Store in Neva XR there. First of all, what is the True Store? This is the place where you find more, right? Where the app ecosystem finds more. And the user can actually have all these personalized applications for his daily life. And it is an easy to develop environment for developers. They can create innovative applications, they can use vehicle signals, and also the services which are already as an app inside the car, upload it, and then get approved and see it in the smart device. Actually, you don't need to go inside. It's direct in front of your fingertips. You can go to the smart device and check it out. And one great example of what happens if you connect startups together and let them do by trust and let them go, you see here with an example of my colleague Mehmet Ünal and Art Mode.
Hello everyone, my name is Mehmet Ünal. So I'm an artist and also founder of Neva XR. So Neva XR is an immersive technologies company that focused on developing innovative solutions for the automotive industry. And as a partner of Talk, we play a key role in the development of art and entertainment applications. So today I will talk about our new product, which is called Art Mode. So what is Art Mode? So Art Mode is a lifestyle application and also a streaming platform that serves digital art and also specifically designed and created for digital art forms such as AI-generated art, audiovisuals, NFTs, contemporary music, and so on. So with this technology, we are aiming to transform smart mobility into an emotionally powerful experience. So Art Mode is the first ever streaming platform that serves digital art and also a marketplace for vehicles. And it's a new revolutionary medium for art and also an amazing and powerful and fantastic playground for digital artists. So with this product and with this invention, our smart devices are becoming and turning into an emotionally powerful experience and into a mobile art galleries. So with this technology, we are bringing digital art close to people. So we have collaborated with well-known digital artists, composers, designers all around the world, and they have created very unique and brand new digital art collections. And also many other artists have started to explore the potential and the possibilities of our new invention. So Art Mode is a streaming platform, and it brings together art investors, art lovers, and also artists. So with this technology, we are allowing artists to share their artworks. So apart from streaming feature, we have another feature for digital art. So we have digital art marketplace where our customers will be able to buy or sell their artworks as well as NFTs, and we are offering opportunities for art investors with this technology. So we have another feature for interactive technologies, such as WebGL, Web Audio, or generative algorithms with powered AI. So our customers will be able to change, modify, or manipulate their artworks as well as aspect ratio, color, or design. And so for music lover, we have good news for music lover because we have created very unique and brand new contemporary music library that works together with Visual Library to enhance our customers' experience. That means ArtNode is an audiovisual application, a streaming platform, a digital art marketplace for everyone, for our users. Thank you.
Yes. And what does it give you as a lessons learned from here? What I take here is we have now an open platform, which is an application store called TrueStore. You can all participate. It's not closed. You can all submit your applications and make use of this. There is new apps upcoming, smart health app, smart living. There's a lot of more features which are coming, and we really invite you to jointly collaborate, which we call Together. And thank you in the name of Mehmet. And Mehmet, you got us in a double pack. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, thank you guys, thank you very much. If you want to experience like the digital art, interactive music, please go like having a look at the talk vehicle. If you instead you enjoy more like traditional music, ask me about my rock band. So we move on with the next one that is called Beyond D, an Italian company that is born in our in which our office in Modena, Motorvalley Accelerator invested. So it's a portfolio, Plug and Play. We did a POC with our corporate partner ST Microelectronics. They are developing a smart seating solution, but we will learn directly from them. So handing over to Max Pizzini from ST Micro and Simone Pennavarin from Beyond D. Guys, stage is yours.
Good afternoon, thank you for being here till such a late time, with such a heat. So I'm Max Pizzini, I'm from ST Microelectronics, and we are partnering here with Beyond D. Let me introduce the ecosystem that Beyond D has used to develop this solution, which Simone will talk later. AutoDevKit is an ecosystem which includes hardware, software, and all the configuration tools required to build a full ECU compliant with the automotive standards. And we have provided this system exactly to accelerate company like Beyond D to have a strong startup and to be very fast in time to market to be able to provide solutions. But now let's hear from Simone what Beyond D has done with this ecosystem.
Hello everyone. So I am Simone. I'm the technical lead for electronics in Beyond. We are a little grown up as a startup. We already have some very established business in Italy. And we collaborated with Max's team for an integrated solution. And our driver with our customer is mostly provide value towards integration of different features into more overall solutions. We work a lot with this seating solution as well as other activities related to battery management and battery system. Here we wanted to integrate for one of our customers all of the features normally required for seating solutions into a much more easy to use plug-and-play board that we designed in cooperation with Max's team in Catania. They provided the basic software functionality and everything from their AutoDevKit ecosystem, while we provided the overall board design and functional features, as well as the final integration into the system. We wanted to make a board that was easy to connect, easy to interface to the vehicle, and that could be suitable for new vehicle designs without having the hassle to include too many features, too many problems from the definition of the vehicle specifications, and simply to have a plug-and-play board that could be connected in several ways And for example, here we have also developed a demo that can be connected through an app and can be controlled through an app. We have standalone seating solutions with almost no need for centralized vehicle control. Also, we wanted to add some values working with very known companies in the automotive world. So we involved our long-time partner Sabelt, who is well known for seating solutions and safety devices in automotive for high-end cars and F1, who provided a production seat, and we worked with them for the seamless integration of all the features inside a single unit. So here we have, and it's also available for anyone who wants to try, the complete seat, which has all the features you would expect from normal seating solutions. So motorized features, the heating control, the lumbar support, and the board is already capable to include the new functionalities such as lighting control, as well as attention monitor featured or massage functions, and everything is already embedded into a single board, which can either be used as a development platform for several driving features, as well as a ready for production product. So we use this as a pilot project to go on with the collaboration with ST, also for other aspects of our expertise, especially involving battery systems. And with them, we are now working on some platform for battery management. So I welcome you to stay tuned in the future for maybe a new solution that we may come up with. And also, I thank you for your attention, and anyone who wants to try and see these solutions is welcome to visit us at our booth, which is right at the beginning, the entrance of the hall. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
So thank you, Max. Thank you, Simone. Really excited, maybe because we are all Italians, so Italians do better. So we move forward. We go into the last cluster indeed. So we have some few companies left, and then we can finally celebrate. But definitely the level of attention must be kept high because there are super exciting POCs. Let's start with Pellegrin AI, who work together with Bridgestone Mobility Solution to deliver like a visual intelligence system based on smart cameras to detect like the road condition. And I want to invite on stage Raghunath Banerjee and Stefan Enrique from Pellegrin. Sorry guys if my pronunciation is really bad. Stage is yours. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Raghunath here from Bridgestone Mobility Solutions. I think temperature is a little bit cooling down, and we wanted to really give you further cooling down with some of the cool stuff that we are doing with Pellegrin. So within Bridgestone Mobility Solutions, we are right now developing a variety of digital solutions by leveraging our connected vehicle data and also leveraging the tire intelligence. And through that, we are not only serving our customers, fleet customers, but also extending the value proposition to the cities, municipalities, road authorities with this insight. Now, we are extremely happy to collaborate with Pellegrin, and we are developing many important solutions for the entire mobility ecosystem. I will hand it over to Stefan to really introduce the solution. Over to you.
Thanks, Raghunath. Pleasure to be here. We are Pellegrin AI. We are a software company from Berlin, and we make camera systems smarter. We essentially believe that visual data will transform the future of mobility, especially in the sectors of map making, insurance, and mobility services. So let's look into our partnership with Bridgestone, and maybe let me start and introduce the company and the startup a little bit, because I'm pretty sure you know Bridgestone, but you don't know Pellegrin AI. So, as I said, we work with visual data, but how do we get it? We integrate our software in devices such as smartphones, but also dash cams and automotive ECUs. The software stack is essentially a perception system that can understand what is really happening on the road. So we understand traffic behavior, we understand road conditions, road infrastructure,
and we bring that back directly from our camera. So the camera has the essential task to minimize the data set already in the vehicle. So instead of transferring imageries or videos back to the data center, we minimize the data already to only to 1% of the initial raw data set that you would find, and put this into our intelligence layers where we enrich the data, we combine it across all the fleet vehicles that we would see in such a use case to bring the data together. Multiple vehicles observe the same spot multiple times, and we can fuse the data to get the best result out of it. But the good thing about it is that we really add value to camera systems. So we are not a replacement for ADAS systems or autonomous cars. We are an enhancement. We add actually a monetizable solutions to existing cameras. We can help you to understand how safely is a vehicle operated, what is the status of the road, is there a road damage, is there a traffic sign that needs to be updated in maps. And let's have a quick look on our joint project that we did together, which was a proof of concept that we conducted in the city of Leipzig. We chose a small fleet of cars that we operated mainly in Leipzig and some additionally even in Berlin, and we focused on collecting data assets such as road damages, warning beacons from construction sites, speed limits and other traffic signs. And the task was to do that all at the edge in the device, no post-processing. Everything had to be collected by these vehicles while they were driving. We had over 8,000 observations in that POC. We aggregated this to over 800 of assets of fresh data that we could then bring back to our data solutions. And I will pass back to Raghunath to tell you how that fits into the strategy of Bridgestone and our joint project together.
Absolutely, thank you. So, if you look at our overall vision, right, and what is the requirement for the smart cities for tomorrow to become the more smarter, and also how the mobility can become more safer and also more cost effective. To do so, I think Bridgestone Mobility Solution perspective, we are looking for several solutions based on the data and leveraging the data. Now, the cool stuff, the very important aspect what Peregrine has developed, getting the information real time from the vehicle and reporting back. So if you think of the cities, they are really struggling today to find the road conditions, where exactly the potholes are there, how do they send the predictive maintenance vehicles over there, which part of the segment is really need to be repaired, and how do they optimize the cost. So from that perspective, the technology that Peregrine that we are working with, in our commercial vehicles, once we put this technology on top of that and using the dashcam technology, we can detect these conditions in real time. And if we aggregate the data, then we can circulate the cities in an anonymized way to the entire ecosystem to take a decision. And also, it acts as a very predictive alerts to the next driver who is passing by the same segment. We are also having in danger of, injuring themselves or causing accidents or damaging the vehicle. So if we look at the overall ambitions that we have for a city, if we wanted to give them a better decision-making power in terms of the infrastructure planning, where do they design the bicycle path? How do they really see that where the drivers are overspeeding, where the drivers are braking, where the crashes have happened? And if we combine this data with the real-time feedback to the technology from the Peregrine, that's really a game changer for the city now. And that's what we are working. And really what we are looking forward, that how we can make tomorrow's cities more smarter, leaner, greener, and safer. Thank you, all of you.
So, thank you Peregrine, AI and BMS. Thank you for the contribution. So, we have 12 POC left. I'm joking, no, it's just 2. So, next one is a POC between like Sono back home and Bosch. What they do basically is reducing the carbon footprint for smart mobility public transport fleets. So I invite on stage Christian de Jong from Sono Bicom and Joachim Mender from Bosch. Guys, stage is yours.
Hello everyone. I'm happy that we can also introduce our proof of concept together with the partner Sony Beacon from the other part of Germany, from the coast, from Wismar. Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, and we are very happy that we can partner with them regarding city buses, regarding people management, regarding crowd management, and regarding optimizing of public transportation. By this, I will already hand over. For myself, I'm from Bosch, Hannover, Hildesheim, formerly Blaupunkt, and we have always to do with infotainment, telematics, and smart mobility. And now I'm handed over to Mr. de Jong.
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Christian, and I'm the CTO of the company named Solmobieten. And we have offices in Hamburg and in Wismar. The research and development is in Hamburg. And why are we here today? We have developed a crowd management system. And what does the crowd management system do? Well, it analyzes and manages crowds, so big groups of people like we have here today. Our system can provide information about insights like obviously the number of people in a certain area, but also about hot zones and cold zones, so where are which zones of an area are highly frequented, which are less frequented. Information about the duration of stay, so where do people stay for how long, in which zone, and last but not least about movements, so how do people move within that area. There are a lot of use cases for this technology. Here are some of our customers. We have retail, where we have big shopping malls that are using our technology to see where people are moving to the shopping mall. We have event-based systems like actually a football stadium here in Germany, where they want to show their fans where they have to get a beer during the game break. But most of interest, in my personal opinion, also one of the cases which is, I think, most useful is smart mobility and public transportation. So why is this? With smart mobility, I mean it's the integration of different means of transportation, so different transportation services that needs to be synchronized, that needs to be integrated. And to do this, those providers of those services need data. They need data about passengers, they need data about the times when traffic is high, they need to know at what days a lot of traffic is occurring. And a lot of times this data is not available. And if it is available, then they have found that the problem that they have many technical systems in operation. And those systems a lot of times are closed systems where the data can be shared between the systems themselves. We cannot solve every problem, but what at least we can do is we can provide data about the crowd, so about the passengers traveling through a city during the day. So how do people travel, which means do they use, where do they switch between transportation means, at what times of the day a lot of people are on the road, at what times it's more calmly and not that much is happening. So this information we can easily provide. And how do we do this? On the one side we have a very small sensor. We actually this is a sensor that is sold by us, but we mainly provide the software, so actually we are able to integrate with other hardware as well. That's also part of the cooperation with Bosch. We want to integrate our software on Bosch devices. And on the other hand, we just have basically the smartphones of all people in that area. There's nothing that anybody has to do, but those smartphones that continually see some so-called probe requests. There are requests with which the telephones are looking for Wi-Fi networks that they know that they can connect to. And those signals one can detect, one can capture them, one can identify the device, and by that obviously one can start counting people or counting devices in a way. One can start aggregating the data, so to calculate all the metrics that I described before. This is one small visualization of one of the projects we're doing with Bosch. This is in Hildesheim city, where we have installed our device on a bus, and especially on the right side you can see how this bus was traveling through the city, and at what point, at what locations in the city a lot of people are traveling with the bus, and which zones are not that frequented. On the left, the slide is not of that good quality because there's not that much data visible. But on the left, you will be able to see for every weekday in the certain time slots where do we also have a high frequency of passengers traveling with that bus, and where is it's not that much going on. This is an example of the so-called origin destination matrix. So this is where we capture where people are traveling from and where they're traveling to, so that we can actually show where people are changing. So, for example, for certain bus stops, is where people are changing from one bus line to another bus line. This is called the Schenke diagram. This is actually what we're doing, and what we are hoping to provide useful information to public transportation companies and other smart mobility providers. And that's the end of the presentation. If you want to have some more information, please visit us at booth 12, where we also have some other showcases and some more visualizations. And we are happy to welcome you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So, thanks to Sono, Bicom, and Bosch for presenting an amazing POC. So, last one. It's not, there are no 11 left, Noemi, just last one. So, I'm pleased to welcome on stage Actasys, who did a POC with our corporate partner, Webasto. Actasys is a company supplying technology to keep the glass from sensor, like clean from water, dust, grim, and whatever, in order to guarantee safety and like enhanced visibility for whatever the sensor. So happy to call on stage Nick Di Primo from Actasys. Stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello everyone. I know it's a little hot out here, so I'm going to keep it as quick as possible. But my name is Nick Di Primo. I'm the lead integration engineer at Actasys. Before I begin, I'd just like to thank Webasto for providing sponsorship for us to be here at Plug and Play this year. And today I'll be talking about integration design of sensor cleaning. So, the future of automotive safety depends on sensor reliability. And it's no secret that all sensors are vulnerable. They're vulnerable to physical obstructions, water droplets, mud, bugs, dust, thermal imbalances. Sensors heat up and they then can't detect as efficiently. And finally, misalignments. Here's a video of a POC we did with a OEM. Both systems are a rain system on a test track. The left, no cleaning system, the right, cleaning system. And immediately you can see the difference as a droplet blocks the lens of the camera on one and it's clean on the other. What this translates to is a dirty sensor is not functional. But what most people don't understand is a dirty sensor that doesn't know it's dirty is actually dangerous because it's now reporting false data into the ECU. So, here at Actasys, we safeguard sensors from the elements, plain and simple. Our solution, if you take the sensor's data stream, camera, LiDAR, whatever you like, we can detect the faults, whether it being a weather-related, a temperature-related, or a bump that causes a misalignment. From this detection, we offer a corrective action, meaning either cleaning, cooling, and finally, we report it back to the ECU, let it know it's okay, and provide reporting for the customer as well. This is one of the solutions of a design integration. This is a roof-mounted LiDAR system, and the solution is to seamlessly integrate the infrastructure required to enable perception under adverse environmental conditions while being energy efficient and well packaged. That's the true integration right there, is well packaging hidden from the customer, not something bulbous sticking out. And our product, we mainly focus on the proprietary design nature of it. It is solid state, it's compact, it's efficient, it's durable, it's maintenance free, and overall it's smart. Smarter than leading competitors. Now let's take a step back and look at this as a holistic example of the automotive industry as a whole. Here's an example of a vehicle on the exterior surface. If the exterior surface does not take into consideration proper sensor cleaning and soiling at the beginning of the design, it's going to cause a lot of problems later on. That's why integration is key relatively early on in the design process. Then let's start thinking about the roof. Right now the roof, unless you have a convertible, is more or less a piece of metal with a very sophisticated sunroof mechanism. But now start thinking about a roof full of wires, electronics, water, drains. How is this all going to fit inside and yet still not affect the interior of the car? You can't have a leaking hose that then drips on the customer. That's just not acceptable. Then, as we approach the cleaning solution, we have to do it in a sustainable way. Current cleaning systems use a lot of water. Water is obviously, you have to refill it, it's wasteful, and not only that, but it's heavy. Weight plays a huge role in range. Not only that, but the leading air systems currently, they use a lot of power itself. So imagine a car driving down the highway for 8 hours using nothing but a system that's using a lot of energy, that's a lot less range you can get as we also advance into electric vehicles. With that said, I invite you over to our booth. Our booth is located at booth 9, right behind the first door. I look forward to discussing the problem with you as well as the solution we're capable of providing. Thank you.
So, that was all. That's a wrap. What can I say, guys? What's happening right now? Basically, my first suggestion is take a look at the agenda. The QR code is on the other side of your of your card. So look at that, because there could be some side events you may be interested about. Then now we will enjoy some networking and dinner that will be served out around 7. And after dinner, we will all enjoy some maybe a DJ playing and partying a little bit, distressing for the day. It's been a pretty long day, so it's also good to celebrate a little bit. But before closing completely the outdoor stage, I wanted to really thank the people behind the outdoor stage on the tech side. So they wanted to thank Hendrik and Timo, our amazing technicians. Let's share an applause to them. And our superstar Lisette, being the one moving every single wire, making everything fitting in the schedule and running smoothly. So thank you very much, guys. You made it possible, and thank you also for attending this outdoor stage, and I hope you had a good time and you had a good insight. And now it's time to follow up with the companies you are most interested about and see if you can make PPOC that are even more interesting than the one we just showcased here. So from my side, thanks again, and we'll catch up later.